Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It is Tuesday, December 4th. Hope you're holding strong in this bear market because we are the early pioneers in this new crypto asset class that is preparing for takeoff. We're seeing a lot of the big money getting in, setting up their services. The governments are on board, releasing regulations. And like I said, the big money, the big names, and I have a lot of bullish and positive news to share with you guys today regarding those big names. So you definitely want to stay for the entirety of this video. There's a lot of news to cover here, so please bear with me. The first is ErisX. If you recall, is an institutional cryptocurrency exchange, which we heard about back in October because TD Ameritrade made a huge investment in ErisX. And here's their profile. They said ErisX will improve digital asset markets with regulated, transparent spot contracts and CFTC regulated futures contracts on one platform. So this is catered definitely to the big money, and they are going to compete with Bakkt. So Bakkt, we know, is launching in January. ErisX will also be going live then as well. Well, we got the big news that Fidelity and Nasdaq Ventures have also now invested in ErisX. So you have TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, Nasdaq Ventures. This is very big. So let me give you the details here, guys. New cryptocurrency exchange ErisX said Tuesday it raised a total of $27.5 million from investors, including Fidelity Investments and Nasdaq Ventures. ErisX says it will offer investors the ability to trade cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ether on spot and futures markets starting next year, subject to regulatory approval. Cryptocurrencies are and you guys know what cryptocurrencies are, but let me give you some other details here. Nasdaq confirmed it participated in the funding round, but declined to give a dollar amount. Fidelity did not immediately respond to requests for comments. So as you can see here, despite the bear market, despite the prices being very low right now, right? We saw, obviously a huge correction, big sell-off. The big money, these big corporation Wall Street giants are looking towards the future, towards 2019 and beyond. Because, like I said, this is a new asset class and there's a lot of money to be made here. And we know the technology is disruptive. There's a lot of utility tokens, a lot of tokens with different use cases. And obviously the blockchain technology is the next internet. So it's no surprise that these folks are getting in. And look at the names, guys. I mean, this is all facts. I'm not making this up, right? This is here. You can research it yourself. TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, and Nasdaq Ventures. So ErisX is getting some serious money behind it. And we're going to see more and more of these type of services, right? Like I said, Bakkt, and you have ErisX, and Fidelity itself is going to launch its own service as well. So they're kind of double dipping. They're investing in this exchange, but they also are going to be launching their own services. So very big things are ahead. So let me move ahead here. Now, if you recall, just about a couple of weeks ago, or I should say a week and a half ago, we heard that the Nasdaq will move ahead with listing Bitcoin futures. Now it has been confirmed Nasdaq Bitcoin futures will launch in the first half of 2019. Now the first half will be Q1 to Q2, right? We have on January till June. So anytime between that range of time, this is a great sign. We're getting confirmation of the moves that they're looking to make. So, people on the outside who don't understand what's happening here may be scratching their head like, wait a minute. Bitcoin just, they're hearing the CNBC news and they're hearing the FUD on different, normal mainstream news. And they're probably like, Bitcoin just crashed. Why? It will be confusing to those folks. Now, you and I who are in the weeds of this understand markets move in cycles. The run-up we had last year was very big. It was a parabolic, so it has to have that correction, right? Higher highs, but higher lows each year. And big money's gearing up to get in. And a lot of it's going to come through ETFs and futures and so forth. So the world's second largest stock exchange, Nasdaq, has confirmed its plans to launch Bitcoin futures in the first half of 2019. United Kingdom daily tabloid The Express reported Monday, December 3rd. As reported, two insider sources had already leaked the plans to Bloomberg in late November. That's what I told you guys about a week and a half ago. Yesterday's confirmation from Joseph Christenot, vice president of the Nasdaq's media team, clarified the launch remains subject to approval from the United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Although reportedly there has been enough work put into this to make the question of regulatory approval academic. We're doing this, and it's happening. That's music to my ears. It should give you confidence to keep holding because, as I've stated before, you can't just look at prices because prices can be affected by different things. And prices will go back up. There's swings low, there's low swings, there's high swings, just as the stock market. Look at the stock market right now. It's down 500, I don't know, whatever points. It's getting hit really hard, but it had a 10-year run up. Same thing with the housing market. Housing prices go up and then they crash back down. Oil, assets like gold and silver, markets move in cycles. And now there is a lot of volatility in the crypto market because it's very young. The same thing happened in the 90s with the dot-com stocks. They were very volatile initially until more money came in. They stabilized, the market matured. So we're seeing, we're like 1996, guys, of the, blockchain crypto market, if you were to make the analogy with the dot-com in the 90s. So very big things. I mean, look at this. Nasdaq, the second largest stock exchange in the world. I mean, you can't get bigger than this. And obviously the New York Stock Exchange parent company is funding and launching Bakkt. So huge stuff is ahead. And it's really, exciting. I know but we have to be patient. So moving ahead, so I can cover all this news here, guys. U.S. Congressman Warren Davidson announces plans for federal cryptocurrency and ICO regulation. Now, if you recall, Warren Davidson, he's doing some great stuff. He's a Republican out of Ohio. And once again, I'm not into politics here. It's not Republican or Democrat. I'm just stating the facts. Excuse me. But he has introduced legislation that would clearly regulate cryptocurrencies and ICOs. And if you recall, he's the one that organized the whole crypto Washington meetup. If you recall, a lot of crypto companies, Ripple, Coinbase, Circle, Poloniex, all these folks were out there testifying about the crypto market and why we need regulations and why we need clarity. And he's doing a lot. And if you recall, Ohio and part of his team, the treasurer, they will just recently announced they will accept Bitcoin for tax payments, and eventually they'll add other cryptocurrencies as well. So these guys doing some great stuff. So give him a follow on Twitter. I tweeted at him today. And let me give you some other details. The bill would create an asset class for cryptocurrencies and digital assets, which would prevent them from being classified as securities. This is very big. Now, some other video I think I saw, shout out to the guy, Altcoin Daily, I think. Yeah, that's another YouTube channel that I was watching some of that guy's videos. And he pointed out something. The current securities laws are from 1929. They haven't been updated since because they're dealing with stocks, right? There hasn't been any new significant asset class out there. So this certainly needs to be updated to reflect the blockchain cryptocurrency movement because it's not as cut and dry as stocks are. And let's see, but it will also, he said prevent them from being classified as securities, but it'll also allow the federal government to regulate ICOs more effectively. So this guy's doing some good stuff, man. Shout out to Warren Davidson. Once again, this is not about politics. This is about what he's doing for crypto. But we need more politicians to do this, man. That's the only way we're going to get some movement. The people with the power are here. And obviously, like I said, give him a follow on Twitter. And big things are happening out of Ohio because of him around cryptocurrencies and blockchain. And this is, just big news. And I hope this goes through this legislation. And I hope we get, some folks who on the SEC like Hester Pierce and Jay Clayton are on board as well. And that would be great, man. That would be it would move things so much further ahead, because there are other countries that are moving ahead really fast, and the US is still lagging behind. And we know the US is such a big market. There's so much money here to be put into this market, guys. So I'm excited. Now, I got two big news here as far as institutional services for crypto. And we're talking about institutional services, obviously, helps bring in the big money. So Poloniex Exchange, which we know was bought by Circle. Circle is Goldman Sachs has invested in Circle. So there's a big connection here. They tweeted today, institutional accounts are now available on Poloniex. Learn more about Poloniex for institutions and open an account today. And they published this on their Medium blog, giving details. Institutions large and small can enjoy the benefits of our large curated selection of crypto asset trading pairs, dedicated support, and robust API services. Poloniex customers also enjoy no fees on BTC USDC trades in the month of December. And like I've said many times, and I've given my mock scenario of the big money, they want to call up their rep, at some institutional service and say, hey, buy me this coin or whatever, and make sure you're storing it in a safe place, right? And that's where we're headed, where a lot of institutional services are going to start popping up. Now, also today, Voyager, if you recall, I talked a bit about them, maybe a couple of times about them launching, and I told you guys they had like a referral program where you can get, I think it's like $25 a Bitcoin per referral. So Voyager Institutional is here. We are actively working with financial institutions, business partners, and trading platforms to bring our crypto solutions to investors. So another institutional service, as you can see, tweeted today. As I've stated many times, these things cannot be coincidence. These people are moving in the same circles, and I believe the announcements we're seeing, all the news, all these things are coordinated. So here's their information. It's institutional.investvoyager.com, and obviously they're looking to cater to big money. So I'm excited when I see things like this, because the prices that we bought in at, at a low, even if you bought in December and January of last year, we're going to go beyond that, because the big money's in. And if we're in, like I said, in the early stages of this new asset class, it's only going to keep going upward from here. Now, the caveat, as I always state, market moves in cycles, right? It will go up, correct, go up, correct. So you got to remember that it can't go in a continual upward trend. It can't just keep going. That's not sustainable. So you need to keep that in mind. You also need to keep in mind there's FUD. Somebody comes out and says something negative, or like a Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, some idiot who comes out and says, trying to spread FUD, and those things can affect the price. So have to keep that in mind. Now, moving ahead here, we got some big Ripple news. So Ripple and NEM launch an EU blockchain association to cozy up to regulators. This is big. Now, we know about them, Ripple, forming the SAIV coalition here in the United States. And what have they been doing? Lobbying Washington, D.C. politicians, paying them in XRP. So they're doing the same in the EU. This is how the system works. You have to lobby. You got to, spread some money, some campaign donations and all that. So Ripple is making the right moves. So let me give you guys some details. And this was shared by Emi Yoshikawa, who's a global ops and partnership person here at Ripple. So let me give you the details. Blockchain firms want to stay on the good side of Europe, it seems. Ripple and NEM and company have founded a new association to represent the interests of blockchain and cryptocurrency businesses across the continent. The so-called Blockchain of Europe Association claims to be the first unified voice for the industry on European soil. Great move here, guys. The undertaking aims to foster understanding of technology and highlight the true nature and potential of blockchain and distributed ledger. So I'm not going to go through everything here. You guys can obviously look it up, but it's very similar to, like I said, to what they're doing here in the United States, the SAIV coalition. So like I said, you got to form together and you got to work with the governments and try to educate and get them on board. And it's great to see this is happening. And as I stated in videos in the past, there's a lot of Ripple XRP haters out there, but Ripple's doing so much to further this market, the growth of blockchain adoption, as well as the cryptocurrency market. They are marketing, they are donating, they are working with regulators, they're doing the right things. And a lot of even the Bitcoin maximalists got to give Ripple credit, because Ripple is, and I've stated before, the narrative around Bitcoin is that it's used, by a lot of the old school people, or that it's used by terrorists and criminals and whatever. Ripple with XRP is positioning cryptocurrencies with the adoption and usage by banks as having real utility and solving problems. So changing that narrative. So very big things Ripple is doing. That's why I'm so bullish on XRP. That's why it's the majority of my portfolio. And you can see here payments.com also picked this up, and they're talking about it and what's Ripple trying to do here. Some additional XRP news and Ripple news. Ethan Beard, who's a leading one of the folks that works on this Spring initiative at Ripple. If you remember, Spring is the initiative where they pump XRP into ecosystems, fund companies, and so forth. Excuse me. He said, great meeting with the CoinGate.com team. And CoinGate is cryptocurrency payments made easy, except Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and more. Lightning Network supported. So there's some sort of payment gateway here. And he says here he met with them and talking about XRP payments and more. So these folks are out at Ripple, out promoting, building partnerships, relationships. So we could probably see something, maybe a Spring funded, or CoinGate gets funded by Spring, or at least the fact that they start supporting XRP. Let's see. But I love it. I love it. This is what we need. We need more adoption. He was meeting with it looks like the CEO here. So there's Ethan, and Ripple's making moves. Ripple is making moves, guys. Exciting stuff. Now, CoinFeel, if you recall, they added XRP as a base currency. They also listed XRP with a lot of pairs. And it says they're expanding to 10 new countries before the end of the year. So CoinFeel isn't based in Canada, but they're doing some major stuff, man. It's very, very exciting. And we're seeing more and more exchanges are doing this. And finally, guys, if you really want to know where we're headed, I wanted to share this with you. So this guy, Alexandra Dreyfus, he tweeted the following: was honored to attend and share our Sokios, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Chiles, a vision in front of the incredible audience. Asia's wealthiest families gather to learn the business of blockchain. Asia's wealthiest. The wealthy, the rich are getting ready to come into this market. The knowledge is spreading. The facts of the returns that this market has given to investors and the disruption that cryptos and blockchain are going to cause, it makes it a prime investment, because disruption, we know, in the next phase of evolution of technology is here, just as we saw with the internet, right? And that's why you're going to start seeing, despite the prices, despite what the hell is happening in the market with prices, these folks are going to start investing, and they are in it for the long term. They're looking at the bigger picture. They don't just live in the short term. I know us as the common folks who are not wealthy, we have a short vision sometimes. We want something quick, and we don't have the patience sometimes to really wait some of these things out. But I hope you guys really start thinking like the wealthy and like the rich, and be patient here. So 130 of Asia's wealthiest and most influential people gathered in Singapore today to delve into the finer points of blockchain. The group of entrepreneurs, investors, and families would have fit in just fine among the cast of Crazy Rich Asians. Many of you might be familiar with that movie. And they've got money, guys, to invest. So very big things happening behind the scenes, despite the market being down, despite the prices being at what they are right now. And I've stated it many times. You guys heard me say many times, the big money, they're not going to buy in at the highs. They're going to buy in at the lows when there's blood on the streets. That's when they fill their bags. And we know a lot of them have been doing that OTC, over the counter. And, eventually they're going to sell it back with a commission and all that, right? As the market goes up, there's going to be mass marketing coming to this, a lot of different services. So continue to hold, guys. What do you think about this news? There's so many big things here. Like I said, you just got to be patient and keep holding. So leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Also, if you find this video on my channel helpful, please share it with your family and friends who want to learn about crypto. We only look at the facts here. No over speculating. No, going too far off on one spectrum, end of the spectrum. Want to make sure we keep this logical and reasonable. So please share my channel with your friends and family. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your support, and I'll talk to you guys later.